Hi Andrew, thank you for sharing your brand bootcamp notes with me, and I've loved having a quick read through your sales page and having a look at the website that you currently have up. Also love that going through the bootcamp is really helping you dig out some of the copy. That's brilliant, that's really great to hear. And I really want to know more about this Greek olive grove moment that you mentioned. So that definitely needs to be pulled out some more around your kind of story, and we can weave that then into your branding. So there was one sentence that really stood out to me when I was reading through your notes, and it's one that really, I think, tells your kind of visual story. And that was where you said that a spiritual and intellectual adventurer, that you've spent your life like Odysseus, going to the ends of the known world and sailing off it, always looking to meet the gods to get their help and favour so I can return home to nurture, love and protect my family and my world. Now, I thought that just set the scene so well for your visual brand. It makes such a strong connection, and that's really what we want to bring into your visual brand identity. But before I dive into the world of colours for you, here's what I've pulled out so far from your notes that we will use to kind of base your colour connections on. So, key themes. Some of the key themes that are really coming across are action, harmony, kind of connection, transformation of life and adventure, exploration of the self within the kind of the healing and guiding style. And those core words then from those themes, the three core words that I've pulled out for you are connect, explore and grow. So those are the core words that we're going to base our colour connections on. I've also pulled out a few key phrases for you, and the phrases that really sprung out to me were a spiritual and intellectual adventurer, finding your inner power and path, feeling connected and flowing, and then find out what your life is really about. So those are four of the real key phrases that stood out to me. And I love this idea of being kind of on an adventure and finding your inner path, and I think that pulled really well into the Olive Grove story that you started to talk about. So there's a lot there about exploring and being on this kind of self-adventure. So from these themes and those three core words, I've started to pull out your base colours. Now, your base colours are the core colours that we would use in your brand that are most suited to your brand based on the kind of psychological connections that these core colours have. Of course, there are very many variations of colours, and I'll go into that in a little bit more detail when we look at your colour palette. But to give you an overview of the colours that we want to start exploring and the psychological reasons behind these colours, here I've pulled out four main colours for you to look at. So the first one is indigo slash kind of purple. It's that deep bluey purple colour. And the reason behind that is because indigo and purple, they are very kind of spiritual colours, but they're also colours of integrity and sincerity. They play to the imagination and the creative side of life, but they're also intuitive and visionary, and it's all about that kind of commitment to the truth and self. Those are the kind of feelings that that colour evokes in people. The next colour I've chosen for you is yellow. Now, yellow is an inspirational, kind of optimistic, confident colour. It's all about kind of happiness and joy and living life and motivation. But yellow can have some negative sides, so I wouldn't use yellow a lot in your brand. I would use it just as kind of little highlight pop colours throughout. So I wouldn't use it as a core colour, but I would include it in there from time to time. Another core colour that we bring in is green. So green is the colour of kind of growth and balance and harmony and health and peace and positivity and life. So similar to yellow, but with a much subtler feel to it. So it's not as in your face as yellow. It's got some of the same kind of harmony feel to it, and it's got the healthy, positive feel to it, but it's not quite so dramatic. And the final colour that I think is a really core colour for your brand will be the kind of bluey turquoise colours. Now, that colour, blue, is the colour of trust and dependability and reliable. It's a responsible colour, and turquoise, that side of the spectrum, is very much a kind of calm, connection, communication and clarity colour. So those are the 4 main colours that we're going to base your brand colours on. Now, with choosing colours, stick to 2 or 3 core colours for your brand, and then use the other colours as kind of pop colours throughout. So I have pulled out a few different colour variations for you. And just again, a quick note on tones. Deep, light and soft or muted tones are more associated with kind of high level offerings, and the bright, vivid, strong tones are more associated with low level offerings. So depending how you want people to perceive your offering, whether you want it to be perceived as a high level exclusive course or program that you're offering, then go with the kind of deeper, lighter, softer, muted tones. If you want it to be more accessible and a kind of lower level offering that's more open to people that don't have much money to spend, then I would go with the stronger tones. I think that is just a generic way that we associate colour in the mind. So let's dive in and have a little look at the core colours that I've pulled out and how we can use these in various palettes for your brand. So you can see here I've pulled together 4 options. Now they all have variations of that indigo purple, the yellows, the greens and the blue turquoise, and all in various different kind of mixes of how you can use these together. So whether you want to go for lean more towards the blue and turquoise colours with a pop of yellow, or if you want to lean more towards the green and purple colours, that gives you some options depending on what values and what emotions and what feelings you want to evoke the most within your brand. So I will send over the notes for this as well, so you can have a quick read through and review the kind of colour associations, and then make some choices based on these colours that we've provided here. And of course, if you would like any further help at all, then just let me know and I'll be happy to see how we can help you take these initial colour combinations and start to really formalise them to create your launch brand. So I hope you found that useful, and I very much look forward to seeing what you create from these colours.